time has arrived at Raploch in Stirling. At Raploch Primary School, the children are gathering for assembly.
The assembly today is on the theme of World Book Day. All of the school will be together for it. They were just asked to come as a character from a storybook or from a nursery rhyme. We thought for the wee ones, they could relate to that probably quite well. We've had to disabuse some children of the notion that they could come dressed as Henrik Larsson because he's in the Celtic Annual, Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Miss Stewart.
I'm delighted to see so many people dressed up. Do a little twiddle so that everybody can see you, please. Who are you?
Zorro.
Zorro, the mark of Zorro. Oh, and a beautiful fairy Elizabeth. Aren't we just gorgeous? I love these pink tights. Do you think they would fit me?
As well as all the children getting dressed up, it's a chance for Mrs. Brymer to show off her talent in the costume department.
Well then, and who are you, little
I'm
girl?
Friar Tuck.
You're Friar Tuck. And I thought you were coming as Tinkerbell.
Anne Stewart is not only head teacher, more importantly, she is also head coach for the Raploch First 11.
I'm looking for new talent. I'm always on the lookout for new talent, yes.
This exercise is called Beat the Goalie.
Miss Stewart, you should be a defender for the school.
I'm a goalie, you know that.
With the big inter-school tournament coming up, Miss Stewart has called in a favour from old boy Kevin McKinley, who has been offered a place at Chelsea Football Club.
That was a warm-up.
It was her early coaching which helped make him the talent he is today.
The ball comes flying over, bounce.
Miss Stewart, she was a brilliant teacher.
To get it under control.
Oh, she's big in football, yeah. She gave you a lot of self-confidence and that at football when you were there.
See how excited they are having Kevin here, and they all want to show off their skills to him. It's really great. It's really great for them. If you were to ask every boy in this school what they wanted to be when they grew up, a good percentage of them would say a footballer. Now, obviously, not very many of them are going to realise that dream, but to see somebody who came to this school, who lives next door to them, who has achieved that, it makes it all real, it makes it all a possibility, and it makes them realise that, yes, this is possible. I mean, Kevin always was very skillful in the field. He was always very determined, very, very competitive boy, I remember.
Keep it close to you.
Prone to be a wee bit sulky if he lost the ball, but then that's a sign of a good footballer. He doesn't want to lose the ball. The ball's his as far as he's concerned, and he's the one that can do something with it. I think he faces a huge challenge going down to a team like Chelsea. I think he's going to need great strength of character to be in the company of really world-class players, which would turn anybody's head, far less a wee lad from the Raploch sort of thing.
But what's the verdict from the boys on today's team?
It was good because he's gone to Chelsea. We know him now. Go quite far if he sticks in.
Just Teenagers is a new health initiative in the local community. Midwife Anne Clubb runs a weekly drop-in centre for teenage girls who find themselves pregnant.
Even although a pregnancy is unplanned, it's not unwanted, in that young mums love their babies just as much as older mums and can be as good mums as older mums.
20-year-old Claire already has a 3-year-old son, Lee.
Remember that from last time.
She is now 6 months pregnant with her second baby and is here for her regular checkup. Second time around, she knows what to expect.
Remember when you last had something to eat?
Life before motherhood, though, was very different.
I was a young rebel, I suppose. I was wired to the moon, I think. 16 when I fell pregnant. Immature, I suppose. And I grew for about a week as soon as I found out.
And you measure 29 and I've got you at 28 weeks, so that's not...
I was wanting to be a hairdresser. I wanted to work in a cruise liner. To be a hairdresser and beautician. I wasn't wanting any wins at all. And look at me now. A 3-year-old and one in a way.
When Claire fell pregnant at 16, it was a shock for her mum too.
My mum was having something terrible. My mum wanted me to have an abortion because she thought I was too young. But then after about a week she says, no, it's alright, you can just keep it, because she kinda wasn't going to change my mind.
Aged 16, Claire had a regular boyfriend.
I was gone out with Lee's father, but we fell out once I fell pregnant. I don't know, I think he misses a father figure, because there is a lot of men there too. He's got his uncle Jos and he's got his uncle Paddy, and he's got plenty of male figures to look up to.
Claire's home is always busy with family visitors. Today, younger sister Christine, aged 17, has dropped in with her new baby, Kaylee.
She's 6 weeks today. Her name's Kaylee Ann. And she's got a big sister, Caitlin. She's just turned 14 months. She's a wee witch, a wee terror. She just started walking too. So I didn't get a break. But Claire's good. She takes Kaylee most nights, because I wasn't coping very well with Kaylee. It's hard work being 17 with one bear, never mind two.
The pressure of caring for 2 young babies was hard on Christine.
It was Claire that first noticed I was depressed, because I kept on asking her to take Kaylee. At one point I thought that they'd be better off without me. I got put on antidepressants for the doctor. I'm still on them for postnatal depression. I was constantly crying all the time. Used to greet for nothing, she just used to greet. I didn't care what was wrong with her and it used to annoy me. When she was £8
Right. So how many weeks is she now?
6 weeks today. But then I went to Just Teenagers, and Anne Club told me it wasn't my fault and that, and then she just said it was my emotions safe for being pregnant and that. It just got a wee bit low. It was just the baby blues gone further. That's what she said.
Bringing up Lee as a single mum was hard work. When Lee was 2, Claire started a new relationship.
I got married May 25th, 2001, I think it was. I think it was just for the dress I got married. Stupid. Think you're in love, but you're not. I was married 7 months, then I chucked him out.
At the time her marriage fell apart, Claire discovered she was pregnant for a second time. Again, she's going through the pregnancy on her own.
But some guys is alright, some guys is bams, so I'm not really interested in a relationship with her.
Raploch has always been famous for racing pigeons. The Stewart brothers are following in their father's footsteps. John, Colin and James have bred and raced champion pigeons here since they were boys.
This is the most important bit of the year coming, getting these birds prepared for what's ahead of them. I mean, some of these pigeons here will be flying in one race over 500 miles.
It's just now about getting the birds into condition to start the training maybe in a week, 2 weeks.
Breeding racing pigeons is more than a hobby. It involves hours of elaborate care, attention to detail, and the appliance of new scientific systems.
These birds here are all in a system, what we call the darkness system. We fool the pigeons into believing it's still winter. Basically, what we're doing is we're halting them all so that we're getting them in prime condition to go to the race. It's just trying new things to try and get an extra couple of yards on your pigeons, and it sometimes works. So what happens is the curtains are taken down at 6 o'clock at night, so they've got 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of darkness, and they know that when these curtains are coming down to go up and roost, and that's them.
This is now catching the cocks. They're going for their first training toss just to get them a wee bit fitter.
Once the season is underway, these birds will fly home from as far away as France. But for this first training flight, the pigeons are taken just a few miles down the road.
Well, we're just going to liberate them for their first toss. Hopefully they'll all pack together, head the right way for home.
think they've got their bearings on their circle and will probably head home on it.
Although it's part of the town of Stirling, in many ways Raploch is more like a country village, and the tradition of country pursuits still lives on.
You're only 100 yards in any direction, you're next to the river. Basically, I've had dogs all my life. A lot of people in the Raploch had the same sort of life. It was the way you were brought up. What we used to do is, like, a Sunday was the only day that my dad didn't work. And we would go for a walk. We'd take a dog, a fishing rod, we'd go and get some mushrooms, do a bit of fishing, set a couple of snares. If we were lucky, we got a rabbit, we'd have it for our dinner, we'd have the fish, we'd cook breakfast with the mushrooms in the morning. It sounds a bit corny, but you actually had to go hunting to survive a lot of this stuff, like, you know.
Archie has set up the Raploch Gun Dog Club. Today they're training some young pups to be working dogs who will retrieve game on a shoot. The dogs are being put through their paces at a nearby loch.
What they're learning is to go out, retrieve, bring the dummies back. They're learning to swim and enjoy themselves. Some of the dogs just won't retrieve. That's it. You know, some of them just won't retrieve at all. Others are just natural at it. Come on in.
The next thing is to get experience with the gun.
Come on. My father bought me my first gun. I thought it was brilliant, you know, I was like Davy Crockett going out into the wilderness and shooting your first rabbit. It was brilliant, and then you come home and you ate it.
Get on. Here.
Come on, here. He's not wanting it. No want it. Come on in. Get on.
You live for this moment, you know. Today when it was raining this morning, you know, will the game still be on? Will the game still be on? Yes, I think so, you know. They don't cancel up there unless it's, you know, the pitch is flooded or something.
Miss Stewart, if she wasn't our head teacher, she would have definitely been our coach.
It's the day of the big annual inter-school tournament. The team are keen to put into practice the deadly skills passed down to them by Kevin McKinley.
That was a good game. You didn't give in. That's what it's all about. I'm giving everybody a man of the match because you all deserve it. Who's standing in my Aberdeen hat? There's soon there's going to be no Celtic and no Rangers.
I know.
Well, the other 10 teams are taking over, aren't they?
For Gary McGeechee, the Tuesday Club is a chance to let off steam. Life in P7 at St Mary's is very different. Today, head teacher Mrs Coyle has some news for the class.
Now, you know, we had a competition to design a new school badge to celebrate our Jubilee. We wanted the design to show that it was a Catholic school in Stirling. And I always think of that circle in the Celtic cross as being a circle of love, which is what, as a wee school community, we're all about. And the winner is Gary McGeechee. He really did come alive when he gave praises. The boy could hardly contain himself. He was so happy, you know, and since that's happened, he's been so up all the time, which is just absolutely great. It's great to see that.
Uptown in Stirling, Kendall McGuigan is rehearsing her song for the opening of the new Tollbooth Art Centre.
Practice makes perfect, dear. I've been practising a lot with Dad.
You say it best when you say nothing.
I feel comfortable singing with Dad because he knows what he's doing.
When you say nothing, oh.
Lovely. Kendall is singing at this concert as part of the celebrations for the opening of the new Arts Centre.
Let's hear it for Campbell.
It's amazing how you can speak
In the audience are Kendall's mum, Audrey, and sister, Shannon.
I have to buck my ideas up and have a positive attitude instead of a negative attitude. And every opportunity, as I say, what comes to me, instead of like saying I'm not going to do it and that, I'll have to just take the chance and see what happens. You say it best when you say nothing at all. I'm just glad it's over and done with. And I thought it was good, quite good performance. Tried my best.
At the community centre, the team at Raploch Youth Initiative are waiting for a decision on funding for the next 2 years.
Oh shit, it's not what I wanted, but I'm pleased that we're funded, that we're all going to be in a job for another year. I would have preferred that we'd been given 2 years, but it could have been better.
Outside, the boys are organising a quick game of 25-a-side. The Youth Initiative are waiting to hear about other funding applications, and Gordon has just got a letter from Children in Need.
We got 24.5 grand from BBC Children in Need. Aye, what is good was I opened the envelope up and it had a second class stamp on it. I thought, oh no, it's not up. But then when I looked at it and I saw the kind of instalment and percentages by it, it's a bit like getting your O-grade results again.
Inside the centre, the good news has spread.
So obviously we need more money to keep the project going, so and again us money's getting used. Just means we get the joy of working with these children a little bit longer.
As the boys lose interest in the craft of pom-pom making, it's business as usual for Gordon.
Okay, see you later. Why can't you just sit and behave and you won't get the blame for things? So, you'd be doing us a favour and leaving.
Look, I sit there reading that.
You can sit out in the park where they're playing football. Go and play. No, because you'll pop in. So come on.
Claire has been looking after her baby niece, Kaylee. It's tea time, so as usual, it's off to meet the rest of the family just across the road at Mum's.
I lost my place about 50 times. Just round the corner and across the road, just too close. I've got Claire every night. She's here every night with Lee. Every single day. She doesn't get peace for me. Every day. I like to see the end of them right enough at night, but I like them round about me. They're not like daughters, they're like pals. Again, they're like my best pals. They can come and talk to me about anything.
As well as making the tea every night, Celia is also carer for her fourth husband, Malcolm.
So it's hard on me as well because, I've got the disabled man sort of thing.
Malcolm suffered a stroke and heart attack last year. Celia first became a grandmother nearly 4 years ago.
Claire was the first. Just had an instinct that she was pregnant. I said to her, "You're pregnant?" She says, "No, I'm not." I says, "Are you?" She says, "No." So I took a sample down to Tesco's and it came up positive. I broke my heart. But after a wee bit, you can do. I've got my juice. Oh. I got pregnant and left at 16. Because I've got to do it now to get a house and money. I mean, if they leave school at 16, they don't get any money till they're 18. They don't get a house unless they've got a baby. So I wasn't surprised, because that's what they'll do to get on the socials, have a bairn and get a house. I mean, they are good mums, but I don't think they're old enough to know what it entails. I think it's plain happy families. It's not. Especially Christina now, with how she's got the two, and well, one's a year and the wee baby. I didn't think she realises how much work it's going to cause her. They've all done well for themselves. They're good wee mums, so I can't complain about that. And there's worse when a wee baby comes to the door, isn't there? This could be drug addicts or anything, but they'd be fine. This is good. Our stew's good because it's not.
Early evening, and it's time to set off for Archie Wilson and his shooting party. They're heading north to the hills to bag themselves some ducks.
I mean, I'm not going to just cold-bloodedly killing an animal. I mean, if I shoot something, it comes home, it's in the kitchen, and then it's in the freezer, and I'll have it for a supper or a lunch or whatever. You know, I didn't want to be sitting in the Raploch without my dogs and my guns. And what am I going to do? End up taking drugs like half the rest of them, you know, or sitting about street corners, bored to tears with nothing to do. I mean, I want to go up the hills, I want to hunt and shoot fish. I want to be left alone to do that. A night like this, the slightest bit of noise will actually put the ducks off. They'll hear you before they actually see you. I mean, I work in a factory all day. I'm stuck inside, and when you're actually coming out into a night like this in the fresh air, you know, you're sitting. Whether you actually shoot anything, well, as far as I'm concerned, is irrelevant. There's a lot of excitement waiting to see what's going to happen next. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't, you get enough of shirking off your pals. Like, you know, they tend to get a wee bit boisterous and giving your dog's crap and rubbish, put it back in the house and everything. Go on in. Good boy, go on. Yep. Good boy. We had to wait a while. You can't guarantee anything. The birds come in, they come in. If they don't, it's a long wait and it gets cold.
My feeling is that these two lassies are a wee bit immature. They're in primary 6. In 2 years' time, they'll be in a secondary school, and they're needing a wee bit of additional support to help them adapt into that. And I just think that this group provides that level of support. Okay, they're going to explain that.
Christmas. I don't think it was the happiest Christmas because they've been worried about Mum, who's actually going into hospital today for a check-up, you know. So all that stuff's been playing on them.
Jerry McGarvey makes a follow-up visit to the twins' mum to get feedback on what they say about the Tuesday Club at home.
I like the group because you get to make things and you'll get to stick things down in paper.
Well, they must be benefiting if they're so keen to go.
Do you think the group helps you, Susan?
I think it helps me. It learns you how to be nice and everything and not to be bad and that.
I've brought the girls up not to make any difference between Catholic, Protestant. I bring them up to take people as they find them.
Do you think things have changed much?
I think they have. You'll get kids now for both the schools, like maybe one's at one school and one's at the other, and they probably meet after school.
Tucks in nice and neatly.
Tragically, a few days later, Mrs. Torrance was taken ill again. She died on the twins' 10th birthday.
This is a time to do this. Okay, you'll do your spattering. Okay.
In the recording studio, Kendall McGuigan is laying down her vocals for a track on the Tollbooth Arts Centre CD.
Originally, when I started working with Kendall, what we're trying to do was to get a set of songs that she could perform, say in a club or a pub situation, something like that. And my idea was that she could be earning a little bit of money from performing in that type of situation.
Sorry.
That's all right. Do you want to come through and have a listen?
My voice just went wonky there, like.
You notice when you get to the end of the notes sometimes as well, they sort of dip down.
Taj Viskovsky is producing the CD and has coached Kendall in her tentative first steps into the music business.
It's difficult. It's really consistency, because Kendall's not been that consistent over a lot of time. So he's trying to bring that to her, that's what she has to do, you know, stick with it, be consistent. And it's a matter, it's pot luck really. I mean, she has got talent and she could possibly be picked by somebody to do this or that. But it's a matter of luck, right time, right place, all that kind of stuff. Oh, computer. Oh, you hit the off button.
Lost. Would you feel lost?
Aye.
After their mum's death, Kimberly and Susan kept their regular routine of school and the T3 Tuesday Club. Today, It's the final session, and the children are making Easter cards.
That's lovely.
Dave took it really well, so I think with more activities they had today at the time was really handy for them, because it gave them something else to think about. She always said to them, you know, that this was likely to happen, so it wasn't a great shock to them, which I think was a wee bit more helpful, because she was preparing them more, you know, because she thinks she knew it was coming.
Right, away you go. Enjoy your lives. Take it easy.
A treat after their final session, it's a trip out to Blair Drummond Safari Park.
I just seen a zebra!
Perfect timing, eh?
The kids look back on their group work experience.
I think it was good. Liked it. Class was boring. I like all the helpers that they did for us. I like use my better behaviour because I'm a bit cheeky. But the worst thing is we're leaving the day and I don't want it to leave.
They're amazing, aren't they?
Who's going to blow Rosie a kiss?
Me!
Next week on Raploch Stories, footballer Kevin McKinley travels to Northern Ireland with the Scotland schoolboy squad. Community policeman Jerry McMenemy hands out Class A drugs.
Heroin, cocaine, acid, cannabis, eckies, speed there as well. The simple answer is stay away from them.
And TV chef Nick Nairn cooks up a special pizza.
The pizzas do not go into the oven unless they've got one vegetable at least on the topping.
Oh.